Let's make lemonade. Okay. Let's go to work.
That's the signal. Go, 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 go.
Six.
It's beautiful.
Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude.
Wake up and hit the ground running. It's The Rush, presented by Willis Auto, with Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bringing you raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic talk about sports, life, and everything else that matters. No filtered, no fluff, just The Rush.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Good to have you here. And, of course, Willis Volvo Cars. Huge savings on remaining 2025 models with discounts up to $13,000. Start your buying journey at willisauto.com. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube this morning, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and leave your comments in the comment section. You can always call the show at 515-517-2303 and follow us on our social media channels. Good morning, Ross Peterson. Did you have a good weekend?
I did, yeah. Super fast, but fun. One thing happened I didn't tell you about. So Eli had a wrestling tournament on Saturday. And I go to leave to go take Audrey to like 2:00. I'm leaving. Trav, I had a back spasm I've never had before in my life. To the point I thought I needed medical attention.
Wow.
It was in like between my shoulder blades. And you know what I did? I always joke with Audrey, like whenever I get hurt, I'm like, yeah, I was fighting off ninjas. I had to fight off 4 ninjas. That's why I'm hurt. I was getting in the car, opened the door, slid in, and sat down and went, oh, like right at the bottom of my neck, right between my shoulders, squeezed up on me.
Yeah, you should have called me. I had a prescription of hydrocodone that I've been sucking on all weekend long, and I could have slipped you a couple of those pills. Those opioids would have loosened you up a little bit.
Something like that. I don't know, but it was a new one. Normally it's lower back.
Yeah,
and I kind of feel those coming on. You know what I mean? You're like, oh no, and then that just locked up on me. Are you experiencing sometimes? And we didn't talk about this at all. Our weather is sometimes drastically different from one another. It's been we definitely got blizzard-like conditions yesterday afternoon. It got ridiculous.
It didn't snow here as much as I thought it was going to. The wind has been absolutely incredible. We're talking, 50, 60 mile an hour winds. It didn't. I took the dog out this morning. It's 9 degrees where I'm at. It's still windy as all get out. But there wasn't as much snow on the ground as I thought there was going to be. Maybe a quarter of an inch, nothing, but the wind just makes it those blizzard-like conditions, right? It's just, and all night long I could hear the wind because I'm sleeping by myself. My wife's in New Orleans, and so I'm by myself. So all I have is the wind outside to give me the white noise that I need to fall asleep. She sleeps with the fan on. When she's gone, I don't turn the fan on. I keep the TV on. I fall asleep to the TV. The TV keeps me going. So, but yeah, I was down in hydrocodone and amoxicillin because on Friday I had a tooth pulled, and so I had my back number 18 was yanked out, and
you've twice now told us the number. Like,
yes.
What are you? Are you a dental student?
Well, the only reason I know that is because that's what they called it. They're like, hey, we're going to pull your number 18. So I just refer to it as the number 18. So I figure if anybody knows the numbers of what their teeth are, they'll have a reference. It's just the back one.
Now I know which one you're talking about. You said the back one. I was like, oh yeah, the back one.
Yeah, the back one.
You said 18. I start going,
and I don't even know how they count them.
I don't either. See again. So why? Yeah.
Because I want to sound smarter than what I really am, Ross. That's the goal, is to sound smarter than I really am.
Yeah.
Well, they took out my number 18, and I can still chew. I've got some stitches back there. They did a bone graft, so I've got some bone that's got to heal.
I know the number means something. I just don't know what it is. So it's like, how much fun did you have? 7. Cool.
It wasn't a 10? How did you not have a 10 when it comes to fun? So, yeah, my wife's sending me pictures of her partying in New Orleans, and I literally, it was like a 200-step day yesterday, right? You look down at your watch, you're like, oh, I took 200 steps. I didn't do anything. I stayed in bed the entire 2 days. It was a non-productive weekend. That's not true. I did go. It was nice on Saturday, so I went on about a 2.5-mile walk because I knew the blizzard was coming. And yesterday was an all-day in-bed day, which is like, okay, just got the laptop up there, started doing a little work, waited for the NCAA selection show, watched a little bit of the Big Ten tournament final, and got ready for the show. Got our pool made. If you haven't heard, we have a March Madness pool presented by Urology Center of Iowa. I put it on Facebook. I put it on X. I put it in the chat earlier. I'll kind of keep putting that link in the Facebook chat so you can get signed up. It does include the first 4 games. So just to let you know, it does include the first 4 games, but you can even get in on this late, meaning that if you miss the first round, you can still jump in and play along at home. So, and people have been asking about prizes. We'll be announcing a prize for the winner later on in the week, hopefully tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. But there will be a prize that goes along with this, and it's fun to play pools, right? I tend not to participate, but I figure I'll just jump in and do it. So I already made my first round selections. But we want you to play along with us at home as well. And we want to thank the Urology Center of Iowa for making this happen. And we've teamed up with Tyler Kluver and the Washed Up Walk-On. So it's a shared pool with Tyler Kluver and the Washed Up Walk-On. So it's the Rush and the Washed Up Walk-On's March Madness pool.
And Driftless asked if it's Facebook or a website. It's a website. You can access it through Facebook.
Yes.
But you can access it. You don't have to have Facebook to do it.
No, it's by pool. It's the same one we did our college football pick'ems with. I think it's pools by round. There's 8 million of them out there you can kind of do a freebie on. But it's all set up. It's ready to go. The link was earlier in the chat. And again, I'll put it in probably 3 or 4 times today in case people don't see it as they're going through. Just copy and paste it, and you'll be ready to go. You've got the NCAA tournament set. Let's start with Iowa State, a number 2 seed in the Midwest. They're going to play in St. Louis. Talk about ideal location, Ross. It was kind of going back and forth whether or not they were going to be a 2 seed, whether they're going to be a 3 seed. They end up the number 2 seed in the Midwest. They get a play in St. Louis. I mean, besides being a number 1, could this have been any better for Iowa State?
Travis, this is what we've talked about. This is what it's going to lay out as. You're going to have to play a 15. Can you find reasons why, it sucks that Santa Clara and Kentucky are on that 7-10 next year? You're going to have to beat some teams. I think that the location is the location is absolutely ideal. And Cyclone fans will go down there and dominate another Missouri town for a Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah.
Because it'll be a Friday-Sunday matchup. All 3 Iowa teams playing on Friday. That kind of sucks. But Cyclones will get it started. And location was all that really mattered. Go down there and beat Tennessee State and then either Santa Clara or Kentucky.
We should probably get Chris Conley on, even though the tournament's not in Des Moines. Iowa State only gets an allotment of 400 tickets for this tournament. So if you're an average fan and you want to go see the NCAA tournament, you're going to have to get them probably on a secondary market, right? And that is because Iowa State has 400 tickets available. Ross, this is how the allotment for Iowa State is going to go. They get 222, which will go to Cyclone Club members.
Okay. Now give me one second. I'll do the math here. These numbers that you're about to include are part of that 400. This is how the 400 gets divided. This is not on top of.
No, this is the 400 tickets that Iowa State.
400.
400. All they get is 400 that they're able to distribute. Otherwise, you have to go through a secondary market, try to pick them up online if St. Louis hasn't sold out yet. But 222 are going to go to Cyclone Club members. Now, you may be a Cyclone Club member, but Iowa State put on its website, you must be at the Cyclone Club director's level, which means you give $18,000 a year or more. So if you give $18,000 a year or more to the Cyclone Club, you are then eligible to pick up one of those 222 tickets that are allotted for Iowa State. If you are a student, because college is about the students. If you're a student.
Go ahead, Brendan. There's 178 left in the pot. Go. What do you got for us?
40 student tickets are available. Yes, 40 student tickets are available.
That's a joke. That's a joke. And what does that mean? What does that 40 student tickets? So the university is going to have some sort of lottery.
Probably
40 students will get to purchase their ticket through the university at face value. Is what that means.
Yes, it's like $165 or $120. There's a couple different tickets I think you can buy. But 40, so 222 are allotted for Cyclone Club members. 40 are allotted for students. Friends and family of players get 78 tickets. So 78 tickets for friends and family of players, and 60 tickets are allotted for administrative staff, coaches, and their family. So that's how the ticket breakout will come.
You got to be.
Of the 400 tickets, 222 to Cyclone Club members that give $18,000 or more.
Yeah.
40 for the students, because college is all about the student experience.
Yeah.
Players, friends, and family, 78. Administrative staff, coaches, friends, and family, 60.
What about Travis? Where the thing that's not in there that I was waiting for you to give me a number of, I'm guessing 35, 40 people have to be involved with the band. Each school brings.
I think they're given like a pass.
That's an additional. Yeah, that's part of the team.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So if you walk in, that may be a thing. Put on like a Cyclone hockey jersey, walk in with a trumpet. They may just let you walk right into the Enterprise Center. Or whatever that thing's called.
Have you ever seen that thing of the two guys that carry a ladder? They figured out the hack in life is wear safety vests and carry a ladder. They start off with like, I wonder if we can get into a movie theater. Could we get into a movie theater? And like, Trav, everywhere they go, the people open doors for them. They see them coming carrying a ladder with safety vests on, and the security guards are like, oh, here, let me get that for you.
Just prop it up against the wall.
They get into concerts. They get into all sorts of fun stuff, carrying a ladder and safety vests. That would be great. A hockey jersey and a trombone and just all the confidence in the world.
That's the key. You got to walk in with confidence.
I love it. That's a great idea.
So, yeah.
Okay, so, all right. 222 for the big donors.
Yeah.
40 lucky students who are going to win the lottery. The 78 for the friends and family of the players. You think those are evenly distributed?
I would think so. Probably telling every player they got, what, 3?
That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah. I bet there's some horse trading going on, though. Hey, is your mom and dad coming on? Is your mom and dad making the trip? Starters get 4, walk-ons get 2. Something like that.
Hey, where are those tickets at? Why are you asking? Because, man, I'm bringing 2 girls, and I can't have them sit by each other.
There's some truth to that, too. Some big-time truth to that. But St. Louis is the ideal location. So here is the Midwest bracket. Michigan, your number 1 seed in the Midwest bracket. They're going to play Howard or UMBC. I know nothing about Howard or UMBC, and I don't want to know anything about Howard or UMBC. The 8-9 game will be Georgia and St. Louis. I like that.
Are you going to go all the way through the bracket each game like this?
Just because it's the Iowa State bracket. I'll probably do it for you and I in Iowa.
Okay. All right. I don't, because I don't have a lot to add for a lot of these.
That's fine.
I mean, the one thing I would say is I was hoping that Miami of Ohio would get into the tournament. I did hear him say that they were the very last team to get in as far as the metrics.
Well, and that was an incorrect statement. So Seth Davis said that on the CBS selection show.
Yeah, that's where I heard it.
And they had the executive director, or the guy, I forget what his name is, correct him. He goes, no, they were not the last team in. He goes, they were actually farther in. They presume that because Miami of Ohio is in a play-in game. They're going to play SMU, right? So they made the assumption that Miami of Ohio was the last team in. And the guy from the NCAA came on and said, that is an inaccurate statement. And I think it kind of threw Seth Davis off a little bit because they think they all know the bracket. He goes, no, they were in. What happened was we put them in, but when they started stacking things and looking at strength of schedule and all that stuff, they ended up in a play-in game. But he goes, they were in.
So it was the opposite of what Seth Davis. Okay. All right. Kind of, in a way.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
all right.
Yeah. So Seth Davis made the assumption, well, they're in a play-in game. They're playing this one. They had to be the last team in. And he said, no, we had them in, but then we had to start stacking and use the metrics to stack. And I guess at this point, does it matter who the last team in is and who's not? Because if you made it, you made it.
I guess if we're gonna have these stupid ass play-in games anyway, then at least make it the last teams that get in. When he said that, it made sense to me. When he said, like, oh, and my first thought was, well, damn it, I felt like I know that they're Ken Palm and all. They lost one freaking game. And I'll really be pulling for them. I hope they not only pull that off, but in that, I would love to see them beat SMU. And then it's Tennessee, right? The winner of that goes into that Midwest bracket to play, I think, Tennessee in there. Is that right? Am I missing that?
Wouldn't be the Midwest bracket. It would be, just let me.
Yeah, they're in. Yeah, yes, it is. SMU and Miami of Ohio are the Midwest.
So going into so the Midwest gets 2 play-in games. The Howard UMBC game, and then the winner would play Tennessee. You're right. In the 6-11 game. I think we could all agree. I think we'd all agree that Miami of Ohio, even though their strength of schedule is one of the worst in the country, went 31-0, deserved to be in the NCAA tournament.
I would say this: if you are a Drake fan, if you are a UNI fan, if you have at all tried to fight this fight that the mid-major should get a little bit more respect, you really have to hope that Miami of Ohio makes a little run here. I hope that I would love to see them get into that round of 32. That'll be tough. If they get into the round of 32, they will probably be playing Virginia. Let's hope I hope they just get a couple of wins to make it that the fight was worth the conversation was worth the fight, or the fight was worth the whatever it is. That
I think if they beat SMU, the conversation was worth.
Was it?
Well, I mean, I think they earned their way in. If they lose to SMU, there'll be a lot of people going, but who else are you going to put there? You're going to put Auburn there? Are you going to put Indiana there? I was watching a show this morning, and I didn't have a disagreement with him where. This is kind of the first time, and as I was watching the bracket reveal yesterday, I didn't really have a big problem with the brackets. Meaning, I think you looked at the teams that got left out and go, yeah, you probably deserve to be left out.
I think the only team I was looking for was Miami of Ohio. I don't think that's the only team that I was wondering about if they were going to be in or out. Other than that, it was placement with the UNI thing. And I'm sure we'll get to all the UNI. I did while we're talking about the selection show. Virginia writes in and says, my favorite yesterday was when they randomly started talking about their new metric, the WAB, wins above bubble. We're just pulling stuff out of our butt now. We're say ass, Virginia.
We're pulling out any metric we can. Wins above bubble. Wouldn't that be a quad 2 or quad 1 win?
And I'm telling you, Trav, all of these things are designed to continue to do this thing that we're all afraid of. We all keep saying, man, it's the rich getting richer. They're making this an elitism thing. It's going to be, all of these conferences are going to be one bid conferences. All of these metrics are building towards that and help to do that. Data, man, you can extrapolate from data whatever you want. And what they want to extrapolate from is, you got to be a big boy to play with the big boys. I mean, come on. Everybody gets it, right? Right? Everybody gets it, right? Right? And that's a tactic, and everybody falls for it. And they go, yeah, I'm on the side of the guy that's loud and says, yeah, we all want to be on that side. Metrics. WOB. How many WOBs you got? Wins above bubble. What's the bubble? Well, those are the teams that don't get on that don't have big WOB. Don't have big enough WOB. You can't get any WOB. Come on, it's all about WOB.
Do you think you think Seth Davis and Clark Kellogg sit around and go, hey, what's a new acronym we can come up with?
Travis, yes. Everybody wants to leave their mark. Everybody wants to be, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come up with a new thing. And everybody's going to remember me for this new thing that I created.
And for some reason, I didn't see it, but Virginia Hawk says it. First time I'd ever heard of WOB, probably because they made it up yesterday.
I didn't even know that till you just said it. Virginia, I didn't even hear it yesterday. You just said it, and I'm like, oh, yeah. Wet ass bubble is flags. I mean, wins above bubble.
When does the wins above bubble become a stat?
Probably
not till the final weekend.
Hadn't heard it till right now. You'll hear it today. When you're looking at that North Carolina VCU matchup, you really got to look at the WOB numbers.
We need to come up with our own acronym. Make us sound smarter than what we really are. You mentioned the rich getting richer. The SEC leads all conferences with 10 teams in the NCAA tournament. The Big 10 is next at 9, the Big 12 at 8. When it comes to the mid-major conferences, I got a text last night from Aaron Velichko, who's McKenna Velichko's father. He is the commissioner for basketball for the West Coast Conference, and he was ecstatic as the West Coast Conference got 3 teams in to the NCAA tournament. That's a big number for
a small conference.
For a small conference.
Yeah.
Very big number. So, you look at the West Coast Conference, what do they got? Santa Clara, Gonzaga, and St. Mary's into the NCAA tournament. I think Iowa State got to the 2-line, Ross, because of the way they played, even though they lost the game. Many people are calling the Arizona game on Friday the best game in college basketball all season long.
That I saw several people say that same thing, and even folks from around the country saying if you missed that game, that was a fantastic game. It didn't hurt the Cyclones at all to lose that game.
It might have helped them.
That's right. Going into the weekend, I was saying that, right? Like it doesn't really matter. We've seen it with the Cyclones. You can go and win the Big 12 tournament. The committee's not waiting around Sunday for that final to decide where you're going to be. They had Iowa State solidly locked into a 2, it turns out. And that game was just really fun. And maybe, losing and, getting an extra day of, I don't know. I don't know what the rebound of it will be, but it was a really dynamic game to watch. That anytime you get a buzzer beater, anytime you have a game that's that back and forth between 2 fantastic teams. And one of the things, Trav, looking at as I was looking at the Ken Palm stuff this morning, speaking of those metrics, but I do think that those Ken Palm adjusted offense and defense ratings are kind of fun when you're looking at this stuff. Arizona is top 5 in both, and Iowa State, with that after the weekend, did move into the top 21 offensively. They're the number 4 defense in the country. That game was that's a title fight. That's that big boy basketball you talk about. This
that
fun,
was Hearns Hagler, man. That was
this whole weekend. Watching baseball be as exciting as it was, and that game last night, and it's gearing up. Not even gearing up. We're in the middle of it. That was fun. Fun weekend.
Other games in the Midwest in the Midwest Regional. Texas Tech will take on Akron, Alabama, and Hofstra. Then you have that Tennessee, SMU, Miami of Ohio winner, Virginia, Wright State, Kentucky, and Santa Clara, and then Iowa State and Tennessee. Again, I like your analogy, Ross, is that you can look at each bracket and go, well, this one's the toughest one. At the end of the day, you're going to have to win games. It doesn't matter who your next matchup is. You can be frustrated that you get Kentucky or whoever, but you know it's down to the best of the best, and sooner or later you're going to have to play them. And you know you could be Iowa, which we'll talk about when we come back, on a number 9 line. It's going to have to play the number 1 team in the country or number 1 seed in the East if they end up winning that matchup. If you're looking for a more
number 1 seed in the South.
In the South.
Number 1 seed in the South.
East, South.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a mortgage for your new home, first of all, you need to start that buying journey with Ross Peterson in Agency Iowa, because Ross is going to take care of you. He is a friend.
That's true. But first thing I'm going to do is tell you to call Gary Presnell, because you got to get that pre-approval. Step 1.
Yeah, Ross wants the pre-approval level in your hand as you start to go look at houses. And Gary can get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less. It can happen after hours, during the week, or on weekends. He's been a mortgage banker financing residential homes for the past 25 years, offers a variety of loans. And you want a trusted local mortgage professional with years of experience to handle the largest purchase you're going to make. You can trust Gary to take care of you. Give him a call at 515-975-6767. That's 515-975-6767. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
With the Iowa Lottery's new Millionaire for Life game, you could win $1 million a year for life. That could make you a My Dream Job is No Job millionaire, a front row tickets to every show millionaire, a hire a personal glam squad for you and your bestie millionaire.
Yep, a little further.
Or just to never run out of your favorite pickles millionaire. With Millionaire for Life from the Iowa Lottery,
And these.
you can change your life for life. Play today.
When you work with a company like Mr. Electric that goes above and beyond and makes the customer their priority, that is just a real joy to encounter these days. It was a fairly complicated project and it was intimidating. They made it look so easy, and they were very professional, very clean folks. They thoroughly explain what they're going to do. It's clear that they're experienced and that they know what they're doing. Having professionals out there that can do that for me, that gives me a lot of peace of mind.
Keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
My name's Gary Presnell, and I'm a residential home mortgage banker for Northwest Bank in Des Moines Metro Market. I've been financing people's homes for over 25 years, and I'm an expert in financing VA loans, FHA loans, IFA loans, and new construction homes. This is my cat, Norm. Norm knows basketball, but he doesn't know mortgage. And that's where I come in. There are a lot of Tom, Dick, and Norms out there doing loans. So don't just trust anyone with your home loan. I'm your local, trusted, experienced expert. Please call me. I would love to help you.
Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
What's wrong?
I hit a gnarly pothole on the way in. My steering feels off, harsh ride, nasty business.
Hitting a pothole can wreak havoc on your suspension.
Did you know for the month of March, if you bring your vehicle to Willis Cadillac, we'll give you 20% off a tire rotation, balance, and alignment.
What? Yeah, I know, James. We both work here.
We sure do, buddy.
And you can schedule online at williscadillac.com.
I know. What's going on?
Great savings. That's what's going on for me and you.
Hi, it's Noel. If you're thinking about popping the question, start with a jeweler you can trust. At Fiscus Jewelers, we offer the largest inventory in Ankeny, featuring stunning engagement rings and rare and forever natural diamonds, pre-screened with advanced technology. If you don't see exactly what you're looking for, we'll custom design it together, and our CAD drawings are always free. And when it's time to say I do, don't forget the guys. We offer the largest selection of men's wedding bands around. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
Back to the rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
One of downtown Des Moines' coolest spots right now is the Empire. It's the perfect spot for breakfast. You can get coffee and breakfast sandwiches, after-work drinks, or dinner with friends. The Empire keeps things fast, fresh, and affordable. Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. We're here till 8 o'clock this morning. Spring break for a lot of people. Or you guys are on spring break this weekend.
Spring break, right? Baby. Spring break.
What are you doing for spring break?
Well, you're going to see me Thursday morning live from Minneapolis, Minnesota. From a unknown hotel room at the Great Wolf Lodge.
Great Wolf Lodge.
Did you ever do that with the kid? Oh, look at this one.
No, I'm a horrible father. I really am. I didn't do fun stuff like that. I didn't take him to Great Wolf Lodge. I didn't do water parks. I didn't do any of that stuff. I didn't create memories that my kids will enjoy. You're a much better father than I am, Ross.
Are you excited about Great Wolf Lodge? Yeah, okay.
Already.
She's already packed, by the way. Yeah.
Already packed.
I said, why are you awake? And she goes, I heard you talk about Great Wolf Lodge.
When you said Great Wolf Lodge, I thought you were going to Kansas City. I didn't know there was a Great Wolf Lodge in Minneapolis.
I didn't know either. I took Eli and his buddy up to Great Wolf Lodge a long time ago, and he loved it. And so that's just the one I booked again. And then after I booked it, I found out that another one of Audrey's friends is actually going to be down in Kansas City. Anyway, would have worked out better if I would have done KC, but we're headed up there. So Eli's going on a little overnight trip with his girlfriend too. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have family up in Minneapolis. They go up and hang out up there for a night. So
now, when does he go to Fiji again? Is that next week?
Guy leaves in like 10 days, a couple weeks. He leaves on a couple weeks on a Saturday. Almost 12 days away now.
Man, that sounds fun. Fiji sounds fun.
I was talking to him, Trav, about trying to communicate with us because we might be on the air as the sun is setting in Fiji.
Oh.
So we'll try to arrange that and see if that works out in any way, but yeah,
what you can do is, and I used this when I was over in Italy. I used Holofly, which is an eSIM. So I turned off I didn't have any cell data, but I had web coverage the whole time, which was nice data. And for the 9 days I was there, it was like $36. And so I just got an eSIM from Holofly.
Yeah, we'll talk about that anyway.
But
those dad talks can happen.
We always have dad talks. Yeah, my wife has spring break this week, and so does my daughter Greta, and they're down in New Orleans. So she flew home Thursday night. They took off for New Orleans on Friday, and they've been partying away in New Orleans and having a good time.
Getting all the beads. Getting all the beads down there.
All the beads, baby. All the beads. So Iowa State is a number 2 seed in the Midwest Regional. Iowa is going to be the number 9 seed and in the South, and they're going to play Clemson at 5:50 on Friday. They're going to be in Tampa. I think we're not shocked here, right? I mean, I think some people were shocked, like St. John's was a 5 seed because St. John's had won the Big East tournament. Iowa, when we signed off on Friday, were pretty confident they were going to be a 9 seed. So I was not shocked that they were a 9 seed when they popped up yesterday.
8, 9, 10 was what I hoped they would maybe slide down to a 10. You were right with all the things that you were confident about, Travis, on Friday about the seedings and stuff. It seemed like you were right about almost all of those. The matchup with Clemson, like every 8-9 matchup would have been, it is a really tough one on paper. Did I see the Hawks are actually, the early line has the Hawks favored
by like a 1.5 out of the gate? I think it is.
Okay. All right. Which again, I only look at that as like, oh, cool. The people that don't have any vested interest in it and have no emotion in it think that the Hawks are going to at least be competitive and maybe win this game. And that'll be fun. And then you have to see what happens from there. It is, you've made your bed, now you lie in it, and you got to make the best of it. So can the Hawks beat Clemson? Yes. Can they go out and play with the Florida?
I think they can. I think Florida, if I were to look, in Florida was the last number 1 seed to be named. Now that you're talking about the defending national champions, they're going to play in Tampa. I think Florida is susceptible, especially against a really good defense, and Iowa's going to play good defense. I'm not saying Iowa's going to get to the Sweet 16. I'm just saying that I think Iowa can give Florida a game if they get that far.
Let's focus on Clemson, right?
Yeah,
gotta beat Clemson. Beat Clemson, that'd be great. And then go on and get to play on Sunday. And Joel, thank you. Joel did confirm Hawks are favored in that game. And I don't know if I think I saw
I think
point
it's
1.5.
Yeah, 1.5.
All right. So very, very predictable for where the Hawks landed. I don't think that there's a lot of, like Travis, I haven't seen any Hawkeye fan say, oh, I wish we would have drawn Georgia. Or who are the other 8 seeds? I don't even know. Well, Ohio State, you obviously wouldn't have Villanova. So, I don't know.
Now, there are 3 Big Ten teams in that South Regional. Besides Iowa, you have Nebraska, the number 4 seed in the South Regional, and Illinois is the number 3 seed. So there is a possibility that you could have a pretty loaded Big Ten South Regional. But again, a lot of basketball to play, but just kind of pointing out where you try to avoid those regular season matchups, and they did that for the most part, but you're going to get them if you go deeper into this tournament.
Yeah.
Iowa's going to play, or Nebraska's going to play Troy. Again, Nebraska will be playing for something because it is yet to win an NCAA tournament game. Only Power 4 school that has never won an NCAA tournament game. They're going to play Troy. They dropped down to the 4 line. At one point, Nebraska was going to be a 2, then they're going to be a 3. Nebraska's not been playing good basketball. They got beat by Purdue, which you look now, and Purdue wins the Big Ten championship, and they won it quite convincingly yesterday. A part of me always roots for Purdue, right?
Really?
I do. I like Matt Painter. And it's one of those things where I like Matt Painter, and I'd like to see that guy, have some success on this level. And he's had success. Success is always measured, but he's always had good teams that have not been able to finish.
Yeah.
I would like to see him finish.
That's weird. Because that's not my feeling for Purdue at all.
Really?
No. Purdue and basketball Purdue and Michigan State and Michigan are like even more than Indiana. Gene Katie was like a bad guy in a movie to me. As growing up as a kid, he always looked so mad, and his hair was like matted down.
The comb over.
He was. If he'd had this little mustache, he would have looked a lot like. Anyway, he was just a bad guy in a movie. So Purdue to me was always like the evil empire type.
Was he
of thing.
a bad guy because he was kind of intimidating, right?
I think it was the whole persona.
But he was a big dude.
Yeah. So I've always felt like Purdue. I never had a soft spot in my heart for Purdue. And then they've always got some 7'9" guy. How can you root for a team? They're 5. They're starting 5 this year. Looks like they were built in a video game. Got a point guard that's lightning quick. I mean, and they when they stand there, they look like the bars on your cell phone. They go, So I don't. I look at Purdue as like that the bad team in the Mighty Ducks. Like every sports movie has that team that wears black and just is the bad guy. Here come the Hawks in their white and yellow and their little bird logo. Come on, fellas.
How about Kelvin Sampson? Do you feel that way about Kelvin Sampson at Houston? Would you like to see him get?
He's a different cat, okay? Because I've always been an anti-NCAA guy, and he's been a thumb in the eye, right?
Absolutely. I mean, he had a show cause for a number of years.
For stuff that now is completely, now you wouldn't even go to a court over. I mean,
No. They would just look the other way. You're like, oh, you texted players?
So, no, I don't have that same feeling. In the Big 12, that's an easy one. That's Kansas. I mean, there's not, if you're an Iowa State fan, I would think that the decades of a top 5, top 10 Kansas team coming to town and the games and the unbelievable battles and memories that Iowa State's had with Kansas, it's got to be Kansas for 95% of Cyclone fans.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. And because they've had so much success, right? Purdue has not had the success that Kansas has.
That's a good point. Like, not the postseason success. That's why I'm wondering, for Hawkeye fans, I wonder, and I don't mean to hijack but I
think it's a fun conversation because you pointed to the root cause of your problem with Purdue, and it is Gene Katie.
Childhood.
Childhood.
Yeah, childhood memory. Who's the team? If I said the Hawkeyes are name their biggest Big Ten rival in basketball.
Ooh.
Is it Michigan? Is it Michigan State? Would most people say I want to beat Tom Izzo?
Ross, no, I'm dating myself, right? I'm going back to the Steve Carfino years, the Michael Stokes years, the Michael Payne years. But I always remember listening to WHO radio in Jim Zabel, and the games that drove me nuts were Clem Haskins in Minnesota.
I wondered if Minnesota. Yeah.
I mean, Minnesota's not there today, but I remember that they had some pretty darn good teams as well.
A lot of people throwing in Illinois in the chat. And Hersom says because of Bruce Pearl. I'm surprised this one hasn't received, and maybe if we whoops, I must be hitting the wrong buttons here. I'm sorry. Captain Kirkhock said Wisconsin or Illinois. Because Wisconsin for for a decade, Wisconsin was kind of a perennial thorn in the side, right?
Or do they have a rival in basketball?
That's a good. Maybe that's, if we're having this conversation, maybe that's the right answer. Does Nebraska, and I haven't looked at this matchup with Troy at all. I'll click on it for the first time. Nebraska's a 13.5-point favorite. Where did you say they were playing, Trav? I didn't even notice.
I don't even know. They're in
here,
the South
I got it.
but
Oklahoma City.
That's favorable. They should have a number of fans be able to make that trip.
Oh, yeah. And all those people from Troy have to travel overseas. Where's Troy?
Alabama. Troy,
okay.
Alabama.
Okay.
But all Fred Hoiberg has to do is win one NCAA tournament game, and the statue is there.
Dude. Here's the thing about that game also that is interesting. Not only in Oklahoma City, Trav, it's one of the first games we get on Thursday. It's 11:40 on Thursday. So that, I think, I just had an interest. I think I'll be rooting for Nebraska, but will I? If there's 2 minutes left in that game and it's a 3-point game, am I pulling for Nebraska to win that game? And I don't think I am. I don't think I am.
Because you like the chaos of.
I love the chaos.
It is. It's like you'll be rooting for them when it starts, but as it goes along, and if it's a close game, you're like, oh, we've got an upset here. Because we love upsets in the first round. I mean, I don't think Troy is going to go much farther than if they were to win, but it's like we like the upsets that happen because they create the madness that is March Madness. So if you have a 4-12 upset, if you have the 7-11 upset, is that what it is, or the 11-3 upset, you kind of like those, and that's where those upsets happen. I'm with you because two things are happening. You've got an upset, and then you have a team that's never won an NCAA tournament game, be on the verge of not winning an NCAA tournament game.
And there'd be part of me. That's a fun one. That'll be a fun game because I'll look at it as a can't lose. And Jeff wrote in and said, never root for Nebraska. What I'm saying there, Jeff, is if Nebraska's winning, I'll look at it and go, good for Fred. Always have rooted for Fred. Good for Fred. That's cool. If there's 2 minutes left in that game and it's tied, it's a 5-point game, I'm going to be like, go Troy, guys.
Because you're rooting for the upset at that point. You're rooting for the chaos. I mean, you could have a Nebraska-Iowa showdown in the Sweet 16.
Could have a Nebraska-Illinois showdown. Could have an Iowa-Penn showdown.
That would be in the Elite Eight. Fran McCaffrey goes to overtime against Yale and leads Penn to the NCAA tournament. It's his fifth team he has taken to the NCAA tournament. Now, just to put this in perspective of how impressive this is, okay? The only other coaches in college basketball history to take 5 different teams to the NCAA tournament.
Okay, hold on. Are there any of them that are like a pretty obvious? Like, to me, what about Pitino? He's had to have taken...
Rick Pitino has taken 5 teams to the NCAA tournament. Lon Kruger has taken 5 teams to the NCAA tournament. Tubby Smith has taken 5 teams to the NCAA tournament. And your final one, Steve Alford.
Somebody wrote that in the thing. I thought they were joking.
No, Steve Alford is one. Missouri State, Iowa, New Mexico, UCLA, and Nevada.
Wow.
Were you happy for Fran?
Hold on.
He says, hold on. I need to think about this.
Yes, I was happy for Fran to answer that question really quickly. Have we underestimated how good of the coaches we've had with Alford and Fran? Alford was a dick. Alford didn't fit here. Wasn't a cultural. He doesn't fit anywhere, it seems like. But he's a good coach. He wins. Yes, I'm happy for Fran. I am. I see no reason to root against Fran until he plays against the Hawkeyes.
Well, there was a lot of people on the chatter yesterday who were like, see, Iowa fans, what you got rid of? Well, hold on for a second. Sometimes you wear out your welcome. Things were not going well at Iowa. He had not made the NCAA tournament in the last couple of years. Fan apathy was setting in big time. People were not showing up to Carver Hawkeye Arena, and it just happens. Coaches that got fired this cycle are going to end up someplace and probably be successful.
Yes.
Right?
Good point. Yes. Yeah.
And sometimes you just wear out your welcome. What I don't like is Connor McCaffrey taking shots at Iowa.
That was the thing. When I saw that they won yesterday, the first thought in my head was, this was the series of thoughts. Oh, Fran's in the tournament. Wow, wouldn't that be amazing if Fran made the Sweet 16 with Penn? What would the conversation be? My first thought was, God, please let these teams match up in the bracket somewhere. But in about third or fourth thought was, if they made the Sweet 16, boy, Connor would have some fun.
Well, it'd actually have to be the Elite Eight. If they
I just meant because even making the Sweet 16, that was always the thing, right? Like,
yeah, they're not beating Illinois.
Illinois is really good.
I mean, Penn is 18-11 on the year. and they got hot during the Ivy League tournament, hit a buzzer beater to force overtime, and then won in overtime. Penn is a decent basketball team. They're one of those teams that got hot and slipped in. They were a bubble buster, should we say.
Illinois is one of the 8 teams that fit into that Ken Pom magic formula thing. Since 2002, every NCAA champion has been in the top 20 offensively and top 30 defensively for adjusted offense and defense. There are 8 teams that fit into the magic formula this year. And Illinois is actually the 7th of those 8 teams.
You know how you didn't like Gene Katie? For some reason, Brad Underwood rubs me the wrong way.
Isn't that weird how some people do that to us?
Yes. And you don't know him personally, but you're just like, I don't like that guy. Why?
Yeah.
I don't like the way he looks.
Yeah, Wilford Brimley. Jay Cutler was the king of that. Jay Cutler, people didn't like Jay Cutler. When you asked him why, and they'd go, something about his face. Jesus. Who's another person that we just don't like because of the way they look? Well, or is it? Gene Katie, by all accounts, was an amazing guy and a nice guy. So him to me had to just be the look, that intensity. I don't know. Brad Underwood is Gene Katie, Rob writes in.
I think Fran McCaffrey falls into that as not a likable guy.
Tough to, yeah.
And maybe it's just, not maybe, it's because of all the complaining he did to officials and the way he conducted himself on the sideline. Bo Pelini falls into that.
Good call, Bo Pelini. That's a great
is,
one.
I've got a lot of Bo Pelini stories. Bo Pelini is one of the nicest guys I've ever interviewed. I've spent a lot of time with Bo, but his public perception is, what an asshole.
7 seed up in the East, Mick Cronin in UCLA. Punchable face. A guy that shows up on my TV. I can be eating dinner, and he shows up on the TV, and I go, I don't like that guy.
Well, and he does it almost every single press conference. When they got beat in the Big Ten tournament, they asked him, what did you learn about your team this weekend? And
I didn't see this.
And then he's like, what did I learn about my team this weekend? I'm with these guys every day. I know all there is about my team. All I'm caring about is, what kind of flight are we getting out of here? And can I get a good restaurant tonight? All you got to do is dance around the question.
All you have to do is not be a jerk. It's not even like, it's not hard to talk to people and not be a jerk. Maybe Trav, a lot, I don't know. I was trying to defend it of, you get to that point where you're just sick of reporters. You want to get out of there as fast as possible. It works for him.
Season hasn't got as you thought it was going to go.
They're in. I mean, UCLA's got a shot.
They play UCF. That's actually a pretty good game. UCF sits on the 10 line. I think that's going to be one of the better first round games. We watched UCF in the Big 12 tournament. They've pulled off some upsets this year.
That one's Friday. That one's Friday night too, though, and we're going to be busy.
Yeah, I'll have the screen up. I'll have 4 different games if I can.
I mean, really, because Friday night, because now that we're up in the East, we're going to talk about UNI. But the problem is we get Iowa tipping off. So Iowa State is 2:30 on Friday.
1:50, I believe.
Thank you. Okay, all right. I'll let you handle the times then. Iowa State's 1:50 on Friday.
Yep. Iowa's at 5:50.
Okay.
And Iowa State's at 1:50. Iowa's at 5:50, and I believe UNI is at 6:10.
Yeah, that's the problem. 20 minutes apart on tip times. Tough draw for you and I. You knew that when we talked to Jake about it, you knew you were going to be playing a 5 seed. They knew they had a pretty good range of teams that they were going to be playing. I'm guessing St. John's was in that.
St. John's is... They can be so good, but yet they can be so bad. Meaning they got beat by UConn in the regular season by 36, then turn around and beat UConn in the Big East tournament. This was a team that was ranked, I believe, in the top 5 early on in the season, but they're coached by Rick Pitino.
Really good defense.
They spent a lot of money on NIL, a ton of money on NIL. But we'll talk more about you and I's selection because it was an interesting selection show that they had showing the Panthers. Yeah, it's a whole lot of that.
Okay,
there's a reason behind that. Hey, folks, March Madness is here. Sign up for the Rush and Washed Up Walk-On selection pool. I'll be putting the link into the comments on Facebook and YouTube here during the break. If you want to find it right now, you can just go to our X page or Facebook page. I even put it on our post on YouTube. You can find it there. We'll be announcing what the prize is later on in the week. But you're also going to be taking some time off, or might be. And what a good time to maybe get a vasectomy. Urology Center of Iowa offers a no-scalpel procedure that's quick, straightforward, and performed by specialists who do it every single day. Visit iowauro.com. That's iowauro.com. And schedule an appointment at Urology Center of Iowa. We see you. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
With the Iowa Lottery's new Millionaire for Life game, you could win $1 million a year for life. That could make you a My Dream Job is No Job-ionaire, a front row tickets to every show-yonaire, a hire a personal glam squad for you and your bestie-yonaire.
Yep, a little further.
Or just to never run out of your favorite pickles-yonaire. With Millionaire for Life from the Iowa Lottery,
And these.
you can change your life for life. Play today.
At Iowa Floor Covering, we believe great floors start with great service. Whether you're looking for a plush carpet, durable LVP, timeless hardwood, stylish laminate, or beautiful tile, including custom tile showers, we'll help you find the perfect fit. No pressure, no pushy sales tactics, just honest guidance from a team that listens. DIY Weekend Warrior, we've got the products and advice to set you up for success. Iowa Floor Covering, floors you'll love from people you can trust.
More Iowa in the Iowa Tap Room than you may realize. Housed in a building nearly as old as Iowa itself, the Iowa Tap Room greets you with a harvest of 120 Iowa craft beers on tap from all corners of the state. And the food doesn't get much more Iowa than this. The Iowa Tap Room, all Iowa beer, one amazing place.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Start spreading the news, cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end unless you're just loitering. It's Central City, we can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City, all this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
Hi, I'm Steve Olinger, Service Director here at Willis Nissan. We are offering 2 end-of-winter specials. Coming out of winter, you know it's pothole season. We can help your vehicle stay aligned. We have a special with 20% off alignment and rotate in balance. If you need tires, we are offering buy 3, get the 4th tire for $1. Go online to willisnissan.com to make your service appointment today.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
Game on, keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
Like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Hour number 2 of the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope your day is off to a good start. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and, of course, leave your comments in the comment section. You can call the show at 515-517-2303 or follow us on our social media channels. Remember, Willis Chevrolet of Granger Collision Center, immediate availability for collision repairs on most makes and models. They work with most insurance providers to make the process easy. Recently earned the iCar Gold Class certification. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. Fun first hour. That flew by, didn't it? Flew by.
This week's gonna fly, brother.
It is.
I mean, this is gonna. We're in the middle of the madness right now. Feels like it. I say that, but truth be told, Thursday and Friday, like we're gearing up for it, man. But this weekend was a fun weekend. Last night, that was great. Watching the selection show and then going into the World Baseball Classic. And man, I had a buddy of mine that I grew up with that I don't speak as I talk to once a year. Called me last night as I was driving home. He's like, "Are you watching this game?" I had just left Courtney's house. We had dinner over there. They just left Courtney's house, and Skeens had just given up the home run. And I didn't see it. And my phone rings. It's my old buddy, John Price. I'm like, "No way. John, what's up?" He goes, "Tell me you're watching this game." That's what. And I said, as the conversation went on, we said, man, it is fun that baseball means this much. You can see it coming out of the dugout. You see it when guys get big strikeouts and it feels like postseason baseball when a dude gets a strikeout and he's on the mound pumping and like the adrenaline's overflowing.
You bring up something because I believe it was Aaron Judge after the game talked about how he wishes like the World Series had the same atmosphere in Yankee Stadium that this does.
He said that?
Yes. Was like, hey, I wish it had the same atmosphere.
Wow, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
That will make headlines. I mean, maybe it'll get lost in a news cycle, but I'm interested because I didn't get that feeling from it. But now that he says that, that would explain. I mean, Trav, did you get a chance to watch it last night by any chance? I know you've been watching and I know you watched the first couple rounds, but I mean, like every at bat feels like it's got that tension. Guys are up on the edge of the dugout. You get a strikeout. You see dudes pumping and shaking and, ending an inning, obviously. You get those adrenaline overloads. Interesting. Wow.
515-517-2303. Let's go to Joel. Joel, welcome to the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. What's going on?
Hey, guys. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Real quick, then I'll hang up and listen. But first-time caller, love listening to you guys, though, especially during football season, driving back home. But Travis, I used to officiate you in high school football back in the day at Tri-Center.
Oh, so you watched me throw a lot of interceptions, is what you're saying. You watched me throw interceptions.
Yeah, I saw a few of those over the days. So, but I have a couple, just two questions. The first one's on the Iowa men's basketball team. Do you think that the season is successful, or winning a game in the tournament, makes it a successful season?
Wow.
And then the other question I have, I don't know if you guys watched the golf, the players tournament this weekend, but I'm starting to get turned off by the fans that are always hollering in the background. And I know that Fitzpatrick was kind of ticked about the American fans and things like that, but I want to get your guys' thoughts on that. But I'll hang up and listen.
Don't hang up, Joel.
Thanks,
Joel, don't hang up quick, okay? Because I want to ask you something. Are you still there?
Yep. Go ahead.
As you were watching that Players Championship, were you following that Canadian golfer Sudarshan Yalamarouji?
Yes, I was, because he's left-handed, and I'm a left-handed golfer as well. So
Ross has a great story about this guy.
I can't say his last name. My wife always made fun of me because when I tried to say it, it came out something completely different. But because he's left-handed, he's kind of one of my favorite guys now.
So, Joel, real quick before, and thanks a lot for the phone call, Joel. Appreciate it. We'll get to the Hawkeye basketball team because I think that's an interesting question. Does the success hinge on this game coming up on Friday night? That's a good question. Real quick about the Players Championship that happened over the weekend. There is my new favorite golfer, maybe of all time. This is a great story. He's a 25-year-old, I believe. I say that, but he might be Canadian golfer. He is of Indian descent. His name is Sudarshan Yalamaraju. Okay, Sudarshan ended up tied for 5th place at the Players Championship over the weekend. He fired a 68 in the final round. And the interesting thing that people are talking about is the fact that by finishing 5th, tied for 5th, he won $925,000. That doubles his career earnings total. Over 48 career events, he'd won around $450,000. He won $900,000 at the Players Championship over the weekend. That's not the incredible part of this guy. He's didn't go to college, didn't play high school golf, never has taken a golf lesson. He learned how to play golf by watching YouTube videos of Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods, and then would go to the driving range and try to replicate what he saw in the videos.
It's incredible.
Comes from a really poor family. Mom and dad couldn't afford to get him into a lot of rounds. So he and his dad, he's 24 years old. He and his dad would go to the driving range and he would watch videos of Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy and try to replicate what he saw. And he just finished 5th in the Players Championship.
Incredible.
It's a really
watching
cool,
YouTube, and I'm automatically going to become a better golfer. That's what I'm going to do.
No.
Okay. Thanks for. So we're getting some conflicting opinions here, and I have an opinion on this.
All right.
This one says, since Drake won a first-round game last year, Iowa has to win a first-round game to be a successful season. But Tony comes back and says, no, Hawks don't have to win for a successful season, but first-round win would certainly help perceptions of a significant portion of the fan base. I'll start with this, Ross, and then I want you to follow in.
Okay.
This season has been a success for the Iowa Hawkeyes on a number of levels. First of all, fan apathy no longer exists. You have fans going back to Carver Hawkeye Arena. Therefore, the fans are excited about what Hawkeye basketball is now under Ben McCollum. That's a success. This team did not make the NCAA tournament the previous 2 seasons under Fran McCaffrey. This team makes the NCAA tournament. That is a success. The benchmark for this team was get to the NCAA tournament. They have done that. They are a 9 seed. They don't need to win a game in the tournament to make it a successful season. by all accounts, to me, the season for the Iowa Hawkeyes is a success.
You go back to the beginning of the season, and the idea was get to the tournament. Man, if Ben McCollum can turn this thing around and reset this roster in 1 year and get to the NCAA tournament. In fact, I really think being in the conversation, being on the bubble was actually, if they'd have been a play-in game, we'd be having this same sort of conversation. Now there'd be a little bit more that'd be hinging on a Wednesday night game as far as this success thing feels. Travis, you hit on so many of those important points there. Okay. The fan apathy is one of the biggest ones. I feel like it's fans, field, you made the field, and then the other F is Fran. Who has not watched this season and enjoyed it more than you've enjoyed some of the previous seasons? I mean, maybe I'm pushing my feeling out onto other people, but man, I enjoyed Hawkeye basketball for the first time in a long time, and we've had national players of the year. We've had incredible players, NBA draft picks, and I haven't enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy watching my team win because a lot of the times the coach seemed to be in, I don't know, whatever that was, whatever that feeling was. It's different this year. And the fan apathy is such a great metric, even though there's no way to, it's not tangible is the wrong word, but it's not something you could really measure. Maybe you can, Travis.
I think you can.
I think you can. Look at the
home court advantage.
Yes. Look at the feeling that you have around Hawkeye basketball. Yes, this season has been a success. Yes, a win on Friday night would be a little bit of icing on that cake, or maybe it'd be a period at the end of the sentence. It would help fans like Joel make up his mind. I think it's a great question, Joel.
Berger says, tough grader here. Not a success until they match the level of the women's team.
Oh.
You're comparing apples to oranges. And we'll get to the Iowa women in a little bit, but they're a number 2 seed. But as we know, there's a big difference between being a number 2 seed in this tournament and being a number 1 seed. There is a huge difference between South Carolina, UCLA, UConn, and I even forget who the other number 1 seed is. But there's a huge difference there. You're not comparing apples to apples at that point. And also, let's look at why this is a success. You lose really good players. 2 of them that went to Creighton, Josh Dix, Owen Freeman, Price Sanford, who was a first-team All-Big Ten selection for Nebraska, all left Iowa. That's a pretty good nucleus, and you're like, okay, what can Ben McCollum do? And the fact that, sure, he got Bennett Sturts, and Bennett Sturts is a big reason they're in the NCAA tournament, but Fulgaris contributed. Combs contributed.
It's been a fun season. I think when you looked at what the roster looked like at the beginning of the year, and we all saw that you were going to be missing size, you were going to be missing true Power 5 Big Ten experience in there. And even in the games that you lost, Travis, as we talked about, several of those games, with very few exceptions, Ben McCollum had them in a position to be able to win the game or be competing. They were almost all games in those final 2 minutes. Yes, this has been a successful season, but I do understand the fans that say, hey, I want a little bit more. Comparing it to the women's team, let's just have some fun with that, because here's what I would say. Remember, the women have had their shot against the best teams in the country, and they've fallen 30 points short. The men battled. The men battled with Purdue. The men battled with Iowa State. The men battled with Michigan. And I got blown out at Michigan State. But the men battled against those top tier teams, and the women. There's
Nebraska.
There's a huge gap between Iowa's women's team and the top teams on the women's side. So I'm not, again, it's an apples to oranges comparison. It's like saying I'm going to judge the football team, and they've got to get to where the wrestling team is. They got to be a top 5 team and start winning national championships.
Here's another reason it is a successful season. Because you've moved the goalpost. Now you're saying, okay, they got to win a game in the NCAA tournament. No, you've moved that goalpost. Yeah. Hell, if they would have made the crown, I probably would have said it was a successful season.
That would have been a much, much, much tougher sell. I do think that the mark was get NCAA tournament. Had you been on that bubble and just came up short, it would have been like, oh, good job, Ben. Feel like you're turning things around. No, now you're in. Wasn't great. You didn't lock yourself in. Didn't live up to the expectation. Because again, at one point in the season, we're like, damn, this team's playing like a 6 seed.
And they weren't on the bubble.
And it pushed. You're right. They weren't on the bubble. That's right. Good point. They pushed that envelope of expectation. So I think that's a fun question, Joel. It's a fun conversation. My answer is no, they don't have to win on Friday to be a successful season. But I'm hoping they win on Friday.
and here's the difference of the way we feel. You and I, successful season. They got to the tournament for the first time in 10 years. Iowa, successful season. Iowa State, a successful season. However, if they don't get to the Sweet 16, it is not they didn't live up to expectations. That's another conversation right there. What is success now for TJ Otzelberger and Iowa State? Is it Final Four? Final Four is hard because you're going to have to go through Michigan. But I look at that bracket and I go, okay, Iowa State got an ideal bracket being in the Midwest. Going to have to go through, obviously, Tennessee State. Might have to go through Kentucky. Kentucky's not that good. They just got the brand. Then maybe a Texas Tech, an Alabama, or a Michigan.
Well, first of all, you'd be in that Sweet 16. You'd have to beat a Tennessee or Virginia.
Yeah.
Tennessee, Virginia, could be that Miami of Ohio, if Miami of Ohio makes that Cinderella run. It's not, none of it's an easy road, as we talked about. You're going to have to beat some good teams. What's going to be heartbreaking for Iowa State fans? Travis, I almost believe, okay, so in order to get to the Final Four, you'd have to beat Michigan. They could beat Michigan.
Yeah. Does regular season mean anything, or is it all about getting into the tournament? Men's team placed 9th in the conference. In a loaded conference. 9 teams from the Big Ten got in. Sure, the regular season means something because it means you could be on the bubble if you don't have a good.
It means seeding for the postseason. I'm with Berger on this one. The regular we have turned it into the regular season is essentially meaningless. It matters for seeding in the postseason tournament, and that's it. That's it. And that's why I think that we should have some other rules. If you're under 500 in your conference, you out. You're not welcome in anymore.
And Jake brought up a good point on Thursday with us, right? Ben Jacobson. And that is, he used to feel that way until these conferences got so big.
Yes.
And that changes the game a little bit.
I feel that should just be the byproduct of it. You are 9-11 in the conference. You don't get to go and now play for the national championship. I don't feel like that's a stretch. I don't feel it, and I think a lot of people should be able to get behind that. 9th best team in the conference. I think we'll see. I think for Iowa State, Trav, it's upset. You can't lose in those. You got to make it. Even getting to the Sweet 16, dude, and playing in the Sweet 16 against Virginia. That's going to be heartbreaking for Iowa State fans.
But all year long, and a number 2 seed, it's Sweet 16 or bust for Iowa State. Successful season, but to meet expectations, you're talking Sweet 16, Elite 8. Final
Elite
Four,
8.
you never know what happens. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it.
With you. Lose to Michigan in a game to get to the Final Four, that's a damn good season.
Yeah.
That's a damn good season, and it'll hurt. It'll suck, but you will feel like you ran right up against what that expectation was for the season. Didn't get your hope. Can I let's go back to one of the other conferences here, or to the conferences. Jesus. Regions. So I told you there are 8 teams that fit into the Ken Palm formula. All right, and it's the usual suspects. It's Duke, Arizona, Michigan, Florida, Houston, Iowa State does fit into it did play their way up, and their offense got into the top 20, and they're the number 4 defense in the country. Illinois squeezes in, but Travis, up in the East, a team to keep an eye on as far as the Magic formula goes. The 6 seed Louisville fits into the formula. The 6 seed Louisville was the 19th ranked adjusted offense and the 25th ranked adjusted defense. They'd have to play South Florida. Will play South Florida. Then they possibly Michigan State, and then they'd be in that run with UConn, UCLA, UCF. Just metrics say keep an eye on Louisville, the 6 seed out of the East. Not to give you any ideas of what my bracket's going to look like.
And of course, you're going to fill out the Rush Radio Washed Up Walk-Ons bracket, which you can sign up for right now. And some entries coming in over the break. I put it in the chat earlier. I'll put it in there again during the next break. Right away, it started off with the East Regional yesterday, and Duke, the number 1 seed. The second one, I think, what was it? Northern Iowa was the second team announced or third team announced? I forget. But you asked Jake last week, Ben Jacobson, hey, you're going to have a watch party. And they were going to have a watch party. The watch party got canceled, but they still had the camera in the room. And they went to Northern Iowa, and there was like no reaction. And I saw a bunch of stuff. Well, people finally figuring out what the internet's like in Cedar Falls, all this stuff. Apparently, Ross, CBS punched up the wrong feed for Northern Iowa, and they were watching Hofstra or hearing Hofstra celebrate, and they didn't even know they were on camera. I felt sorry for them.
I did too. I saw, and then of course the internet was like, look at this, Iowa. Even Iowa State fans are taking Drake. I saw a lot of people like, oh, come on, what a bad look. And then it wasn't until last night that I saw somebody post like the behind the scenes little thing that said, hey, they had the wrong feed. We'll make more of it. Like the world didn't care or moved on instantly, but it's that thing that you watch and you go, damn it. Especially as a Panther fan, like we get so few moments in the sun
to be on national television,
and that's it. God darn it! So yeah, they just couldn't hear it. They didn't react to it. Didn't get that classic. It would have been way different if that had they been an at-large. I think that it would have felt a little different even then. But is what it is. How do you feel about you would know more about St. John's and that draw there?
I mean, they're going to see athleticism like they haven't seen before, right? I mean, yeah, they've played some really good teams, but St. John's is a different beast. St. John's went through the Big East tournament, looked really good, won the Big East tournament, beat UConn. It's a tough matchup. They were talking to Rick Pitino. A lot of people thought St. John's would be a number 4 seed, and he's like, I knew we'd be a number 5 seed. He goes, it didn't surprise him. He's not upset about it, and he's probably looking at going, well, it might be a better draw for him. I think anytime you're number 12, who are the other 12s? They could have played. Wisconsin.
The other 5s are Texas Tech and Vanderbilt. Again, all teams that Jake said they were able to get an idea of who they were going to play. I'm guessing St. John's was in that group of teams. Now you've got a couple of days to get ready for it. Should be a really good defensive matchup. What's the over-under on that game right now?
Remember,
132.5?
Well, look at the defense that Northern Iowa plays. As Ben brought up last week, and we've talked about, they play wicked defense. I mean, they hold teams to 60 points a game.
And St. John's has done the same, right? I mean, am I misremembering this? They're a top 15 defense. I just had it. What's that number right now? 10.5. That's not crazy.
It's not crazy. You know, if this is Tyler's a big UNI fan. He goes, McNeese in Oklahoma City is bullshit. We should be there. You're going to be in San Diego. I get why you're upset. Just be happy you're in the tournament. If the most you're complaining about is where you're going, when you're a 12 seed, you don't get.
What I will say, when we asked Jake, you don't get a preference. You're going to go where they send you. I will remember we asked Jake if they had looked at some of the sites of where they were going to play, and he did say, obviously, closer is better. Throw a dart, this one barely hits the board. This is as far away as you could be. This is the furthest site, I think.
This is San Diego, man.
But it's beautiful. Tyler, if you got the chance, man.
Every single day.
If you got the chance. I love the South Park song. Remember the San Diego South Park song?
San Diego. We'll be stroking it in San Diego.
Jacking it, jackety jack. Whacking it, waggity whack.
Those guys wrote some great songs.
San Diego, come, take a load off.
You never seem to disappoint me.
Tyler says, so I go? ? I'm solo. Yes, dude.
Absolutely.
San Diego is freaking beautiful.
If you can afford it, go.
Yeah. Oh, what are you doing, bud?
Now, I would offer you a place to stay, but I don't think Lizzie's parents would be too happy about that. So I can't offer you a place to stay.
Wouldn't that be great?
I'm going to call Lizzie and say, hey, I've got some friends that want to go to San Diego for the UNI game. Can they stay at your mom and dad's place?
Here's the deal. I did a giveaway on the show.
I gave away your mom and dad's spare bedroom. They're going to get a random listener. Is that okay?
I've sent you their email address. I've vetted them.
I've never met Tyler, but I trust him. He listens every single day.
Trust me, I know exactly who's coming. So you're going to find them at Burger McChick. That's.
Hey, folks, High Limit Racing is coming to 2 different Iowa racetracks this summer, and Iowa Lottery has a chance for 114 of their VIP club members to win tickets to attend exciting sprint car racing series. Sweet experiences for 2 or a 4-pack of general admission tickets are up for grabs for the duel at Davenport at the Speedway at the Mississippi Valley Fairgrounds in Davenport, or the Shelby County Shootout at the Speedway in Harlan, plus all prize options including spending cash. VIP club members can start entering non-winning Diamond Dollar scratch tickets as of March 12th. Final entry for a chance to win these race experiences ends before 9 a.m. on May 4th. Entry is now open. I'm sorry, opens at 8:59 today. 8:59 today. Not open, 8:59 today. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
Game on, keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
With the Iowa Lottery's new Millionaire for Life game, you could win $1 million a year for life. That could make you, my dream job is no job, A front row tickets to every show you near. Hire a personal glam squad for you and your bestie you near.
Yep, a little further.
Or just to never run out of your favorite pickles you near. With Millionaire for Life from the Iowa Lottery,
And these.
you can change your life for life. Play today.
Hi, I'm John Linares with Willis Lexus, and I've got some exciting news on this beautiful March day. Lexus has extended their low rates of 2.49 and 3.49 on all hybrid models. And whether it's your first time leasing or your 10th time leasing, Lexus has an added value for you this month, and they're covering your first payment. And last but not least, it's that time of year where we need to say goodbye to our 2025 models. We have 4 remaining in stock with huge savings. Stop in and take a look at our inventory or visit us online at willislexus.com.
Hey, Tanner with Liberty Lawn and Landscape here. It may be chilly now, but before you know it, spring will be here. We are now booking for spring, so get a hold of us to schedule your next project today. Serving the Des Moines Metro, we specialize in a variety of services such as retaining walls, paver patios, edging and rocking, and much more. Now offering 3D renderings to show you exactly how your project will look before beginning. Liberty is proudly veteran-owned and ready to serve you today.
Hi, it's Noel. At Fiscus Jewelers, we're honored by the fact that our customers continue to come back on purpose, and that trust means everything to us. For years, we've been privileged to be a part of life's most meaningful moments, and we never take that responsibility lightly. We proudly offer the largest inventory in Ankeny, cutting-edge custom designs, including free CAD drawings, and a team that takes the time to get it right. Thank you for choosing us year after year. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
The largest selection of German beer in the world, you'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
Hi, I'm Tom, owner at Central City Liquors. Our customers love us because we offer a large selection at an affordable price. And to keep costs low for you, we don't splurge on fancy promotions and expensive equipment. This commercial is being shot on a phone taped to a stick. Anyway, we are proud to announce our new rewards program that allows customers to save more the more they buy. So don't spend more to pay for fancy commercials. Save at Central City, where we know what's important. I told you we should have used duct tape.
Hi, I'm Sean McFarland, service manager here at Mini of Des Moines. It's pothole season, which is why now we're offering a 20% discount when you purchase a tire rotation, balance, and alignment. Please give us a call or visit us online at miniofdesmoines.com to set your appointment.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Hey, folks, refresh your home with floors you'll love. Iowa Floor Covering offers beautiful hardwood, waterproof luxury vinyl, carpet, and tile for every single room in your house. Stop by their Bondurant showroom or go to iowafloorcovering.com for a free quote. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. Good to have you along on a Monday. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. Talked a lot about the NCAA tournament that will be getting started. We haven't even talked about the women's tournament. Ross says the Iowa Hawkeyes are the number 2 seed in the Sacramento 4 regional. The women do it a little bit different than the men. So they have 2 regional sites. Sacramento will be one. Fort Worth will be the other. But Iowa will be the number 2 seed. They'll open up against Fairleigh Dickinson and then play the winner of the Georgia and the Virginia or Arizona State play-in game winner. Huge to host because they're going to have a massive home court advantage.
Host the first 2 rounds, right? That's the way.
Yep.
And then after that, that's when it breaks down into those 2 different regionals, Fort Worth and Sacramento.
Sweet 16 in the Elite 8, and then the championship is in Phoenix.
Okay.
For the Final Four and the championship are in Phoenix.
I saw that Hawks were a 2 seed, and I saw that Iowa State ended up on that 8-9 line, right?
Yeah, they'll have to play. If they win, they'll have to play UConn.
Ew.
Ew.
That's, all right, so go get him in the first round. And Hawks, what does that? I'll defer to you on their run to hopefully the Final Four. Obviously, they have to play South Carolina. You said if they get to that Elite Eight.
Yeah, if they get to the Elite Eight, they'd have to play South Carolina. So their bracket's doable to get to the Elite Eight. South Carolina's going to be tough. But, you know, they've got Fairleigh Dickinson. Then they have either Virginia or Arizona State or Georgia in the second round. The other side of the bracket would be Washington, Idaho, Washington, South Dakota State, TCU, or San Diego State. So not a bad draw for the Iowa women. Not at all.
Okay, I'm seeing Washington, South Dakota State, TCU, or UC San Diego.
Yeah, UC San Diego.
Okay.
Did I say San Diego State? That's my bad.
Sorry, again.
I keep forgetting there's numerous San Diegos. San Diego.
How many UCs?
That's weird because you do have San Diego, which is just, which Drake plays in the Pioneer League in football. Yep. You have San Diego State, and I forgot there's a UC San Diego.
Okay. All right. TCU will take care of them in the first round. TCU, Washington in the second round. That's who the Hawkeyes will get if they are able to get past Fairleigh Dickinson and Georgia. Because a couple years ago, Creighton was like a 7 or 10, weren't they?
Yeah. And that would have been Caitlin Clark's sophomore year.
Yeah, I remember she was on the court. I don't remember what year that was for them, but they were still got tough games. We'll wait and see. When are those, Trav? I haven't even.
I haven't not seen the day or times that those come out yet. I
don't think they have a time. This is what I'm seeing. The 21st at 3:00.
Okay,
that's the Fairleigh Dickinson. But I don't think you've still got everything's TBD for that second round.
The Iowa State women, I didn't know if they were going to make it. They end up being what, an 8 seed. They play Syracuse.
Yep.
They got to go to Storrs, Connecticut. That won't be easy.
Tough trip, tough game.
Trip.
Get that first one, and then see how you match up with. And then, man, miracles happen, right?
Sure.
I mean, listen, we've had this conversation with the other teams. I think it's fair to do this with Iowa State and with Iowa. Opposite sides of this of this coin now. What does Bill Fennelly need? Beating UConn is crazy. That'd be
the upset of all upsets.
It hasn't been the year that he'd hoped he was having. Hasn't been the year a lot of us thought they were going to have when you go back to mid-February, mid-January. How important is Iowa State plays on Saturday afternoon at 4:30? How important is that game with Syracuse?
I think it's pretty important. I think if you get to the second round and lose to UConn, because this team was in the top 5 earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Had to deal with some injuries, went through a losing patch. I think it's an important game. But
now, what does success look like for Jan?
Ooh, Jan, I think the Sweet 16 or Elite 8, based on what they've done this year. I didn't know. I don't know if a lot of people expect them to do as well as they did, but you finish second in the Big Ten. You're the number 2 seed in the Big Ten tournament. You get to the Big Ten championship game. You lose to UCLA, who's one of the premier teams in women's college basketball. But I think just based off that, you go, it's Sweet 16. The goalposts moved for this team as the season went along. Now you go, okay, you've kind of set a standard here.
Yeah, and you're at home for those first 2 games, so that definitely Sweet 16. Get into that Sweet 16 round. You're probably playing, it looks like TCU, again, unless there's an upset and you end up with Washington. If it's Washington, then you're expected to go play South Carolina in that Elite 8. So,
and that's where the game changes a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there is a difference between Texas, UCLA, UConn, and South Carolina. Those four and are just elite. Absolutely elite. Now, Texas beat South Carolina in the Southeast Conference Championship game. There was some discussion whether UCLA was going to be the number 1 overall seed or not. UConn ended up being the number 1 overall seed. But UCLA just has the height, has the players.
There was discussion about who would be the number 1 overall.
Because if you went through the metrics,
yeah,
UCLA probably had better metrics based on strength of schedule.
Wow. Mike wrote in and said yesterday ESPN's public bracket had UConn women winning the Natty at 95%.
Isn't that a crazy number? 95%.
Berger wrote in and said, can we just get to UCLA versus UConn? Let them play it out. Let's see what happens.
That's I mean, that would be a fun final. I think that's the one everybody wants to see. You mentioned the World Baseball Classic. Team USA Team USA into the final. They beat the Dominican Republic yesterday 2-1. They now await the winner of the Venezuela-Italy game, which will be played today. You're right. The crowds does have a postseason feel for it. It's taken a while for this thing to catch on. But I think, and I was a disbeliever. If you go back several years ago, I'm like, what are we doing here with the World Baseball Classic? You were always on board with it. You understood the greater purpose of this. You understood it's because you understand baseball better than I do. But I was not a believer of this. But now you watch the crowds, you watch the teams and how they want to win this thing, right? They want to win. And I think getting upset by Italy a couple games ago, Team USA is now dialed in. And the atmospheres have been incredible. Everything's been this has exceeded my expectation for a world tournament like they're having here.
Yeah, I've been surprised, Travis, by how much excitement there's been around these last couple of games. It's been neat to see buddies reaching out like, hey man, let's get a game watch party. Friday night I went over to my buddy's house, Alan, a couple of us sat and watched that game. And then last night getting texts and phone calls from friends I haven't talked to in years saying, hey man, you're watching this game, right? This is fun baseball. And it seems to matter to everybody involved. And if you watched it, you saw that. I mean, even like starting around the 5th, 6th inning, Trav, as they're punching guys out to end innings, you can see that postseason teeth gritting, fist pumping on the mound. Bobby Witt Jr. made a play in the hole last night. One of those plays, shortstop going to his right side into the hole, slid, backhands it, plants his foot, and throws a rifle across the diamond. It's been really good baseball, really fun. Home run got robbed last night.
Did you see the double play they didn't review?
The double play they didn't review, which helped me out because I don't remember which.
Well, it was a kind of a botched play. They were going to turn a double play, and they called the guy out at second, but it's like he made the grab and then bobbled the ball, and the Dominican Republic was upset because they're like, no, he dropped the ball.
Oh, might have been while I was driving because again I missed. I had to drive across town, and it was in the middle of the blizzard, so it took a little longer than it normally would have. So I did miss. I missed about an inning in there. Maybe it happened while I wasn't paying attention.
You know, Senorita Puffer brings up something here that when it comes to baseball, makes spring training baseball a little bit less magical for kids on spring break. Yeah,
True.
But I feel like these games mean something. I feel, I never played.
That's what she's saying. It makes you. Seeing these guys do for these players, you can tell this matters. When you're doing that, when you're bat flipping, when you're doing, none of that stuff happens in spring training. Guys pumping their fists, getting so excited, they're on the mound shaking with adrenaline when they get a third out. That doesn't happen in spring training. And I think that she's right, that this does, it kind of peels the curtain back a little bit of like, oh, that's an exhibition. And I know this is an exhibition also, but man, it's, for whatever reason, whether it's the uniform, the colors, the competition, I think the competition is probably what it really is. You're not out there playing against a double-A dude who's might be a major leaguer in 3 years. You're out there against Vlad Guerrero Jr. You're out there against Paul Skeens. It matters. You're getting a chance against the best. I wonder if that's what it is.
Could be. I just like this better than spring training baseball because I never really followed spring training baseball because I knew they were exhibitions. These, sure, the rules are a little bit different. You have pitch counts on guys, but you have guys that are taking games seriously.
And I would say this with Bus, because Bus says home plate was generous last night. I do want the
replay.
The what are they calling that? The
Challenge?
ABS, auto balls and strikes. They should have that help because it doesn't happen often, but they do miss pitches.
Wonder why they're not doing it in it. I mean, if they're doing it now in Major League Baseball, most of these players on these teams are playing Major League Baseball or a form of professional baseball. You wonder why that rule just didn't come over to the World Baseball Classic.
I don't know. International thing? I don't know.
Huh. Getting some questions about our March Madness pool. And somebody put in the chat earlier, it only let you make selections through the first round. Yeah, this pool is a little bit different. And that is you're going to have to go in after every round and make your picks. So you're going to be rewarded for upsets. So upsets are worth more points. So if you pick the right upsets, you're going to get worth more points. It's not a pool where you select all the way through on one. So you're going to do the first 4 play-in games, and then you're going to do the first round, and then you'll have to go back the next week and make go back the next day, make your
on
second
Friday.
round picks. Yeah, so you fill it out as you go, meaning you improve your ability to win a little bit more than going all the way through and picking the entire field. So it's different that way.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I've never done one like that.
Yeah. I kind of like it because you could have a really crappy first round, but you can rebound and have a much better second round, Sweet 16 or Elite 8.
Okay.
Again, talking to Ken Payne and our good friends at Choice Creative, we'll have a prize that we'll be able to announce hopefully later on this week on what that looks like. Besides Iowa, Iowa State, Northern Iowa, even the Iowa State women and the Iowa women, any game outside of what your fandom that you're looking forward to in a first round matchup?
Listen, yeah, Trav, I think just looking at the schedule, I really do think that Nebraska game is one that I'm going to be glued to because of the interest both ways. The interest of does Nebraska get their very first tournament win, or the pain of sports, the agony of defeat that would come with that. The very first game out of the gate is a good one. We have an 8-9 matchup with TCU and Ohio State. Those are usually fun games.
Yeah, the 8-9 games are usually your best first round games.
Yep.
Not talking from, I'm just talking from a quality standpoint, a decent matchup. The other ones are kind of like upset games. You're like, okay, you can see the upset here. But the 8-9 games, like you said, you have Ohio State, TCU, Clemson, Iowa, Villanova, Utah State.
Yeah, none of them jump out at me as like, oh man, I cannot wait for Friday is going to be a great day. Friday, I mean, with that I'll be locked in Thursday morning to see what happens. I'll be locked into these games all day Thursday. But the ones I'm looking forward to, set my alarm for Thursday, not a lot of them. Friday, obviously, the Cyclones and Hawkeyes. Cyclones at 150, you say?
Cyclones at 150.
Hawkeyes
Iowa
at
at 550. And UNI at 615. Let's go. It's like, don't even go to work on Friday. It's like, I'm going to look at my schedule and go, do I even want to go to work?
You better just go to work in the morning and just go like hell.
Get everything done?
Yep. And then take a late lunch and be done.
I top-loaded my week, so I'm busy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I believe Thursday and Friday are pretty open for me.
Tyler, if you end up going out to South Dakota,
San Diego.
Tyler, if you go to South Dakota, I don't give a shit. If you go to San Diego, let us know. We'd love to have you check in. Don't check in from the Badlands. But if you're in San Diego, check in. That'd be really cool. You'd be our live correspondent live from San Diego. I bet we will have a lot of friends headed down to St. Louis, though, Trav. It's like when you talk about, I'm not going to get anything done on Friday. I bet a lot of people are taking what are tickets right now?
Well, if you give $18,000 to the Cyclone Club, you're going to get you can get one of the 222 tickets available. Here's a question for you. So we know they get 400. I was reading the Iowa press release, right?
Okay.
And Iowa just said, "Hey, there's a limited number of tickets. Fans, just go buy yours here." Iowa State laid it all out. Like, hey, they said 222 to Cyclone Club members, and you got to give $18,000 or more. This many to students, 40, because college is about students. 78 to family and friends of players, and 60 to administrative staff.
Because college is about
do you like Iowa's approach or Iowa State's approach, where Iowa just said, hey, there's a limited number of tickets available. If you want some, go find them. Here's a link.
I like the transparency. I like that Iowa State says, hey, here's you got 40,000 students, you got 40 tickets. And Iowa's probably doing the same thing. They might even have less. Who knows? Their allotment might be 10 to the students.
Yeah, there might be 0 to the students. Unless the NCAA may mandate, hey, you got to give a certain portion to the students. And I could see the NCAA saying that.
Can I ask you this?
Sure.
Are there 222 directors level donors? Meaning, are there what I'm getting at is, are there more than that?
Yes.
So only 222 are going to get.
The fact that they put that qualifier on there would say there's more than 222 donors at $18,000 or more.
All right, you answered that one pretty quickly. Let me ask you another one. Is putting that in the press release in any way like a tactic? Is Jamie Pollard...
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%. Meaning, hey, if you want to be on this list in future years because Cyclone basketball looks bright, you have to give at this level. Because let's say you gave $15,000 this year, like, man, if I only give $3,000 more dollars, I might be able to get into that Cyclone Directors Club. 100% a tactic. The fact that you asked the question means you know it's a tactic.
I was just curious. I was asking the question.
Every question you answered or asked, I answered fairly quickly. Fairly quickly.
All right. Do you think, Trav, that's, I mean, there's, my brain again goes both ways on this about should the university get more than 400? Because the no part of the yes is, well, of course, it's the university. They should get they should get half the tickets. Each school should get half. This is how the NCAA is funded. The NCAA tournament is how the NCAA, I mean, when we talk about all the money that gets dispersed, amongst these teams and these conferences, this is how and why. It's because they don't give away anything. We know this from when it comes to Des Moines. You want a media pass, you can get a media pass. You want to try to work your angles to get, there is no angle. It's the NCAA. It's locked. They lock it up. And they make sure that squeeze every dime out of it and all that. But it's true that they got to make their nut somehow.
And depending on the site, some tickets are more easy or a lot easier to get. Des Moines is not easy to, when it comes back, it's not going to be easy.
I had up here, Trav. I'll see if I can get back to it here. And I don't know how accurate these things are when you're in the when you go to the ESPN schedule, it has the team matchup, and then it's got a link for tickets, which they should just call a lick-it. They've got a link for tickets right there, and it says tickets as low as, right? And that, the Iowa State right now at 134, to get to St. Louis, that $134 mark is the second highest. Tyler, I got bad news. San Diego's the biggest. Tickets for 173 to the San Diego sessions. Tickets for 134 to the St. Louis sessions. Tickets for $86 in Philly and tickets for $77 in Tampa. $173 for San Diego.
You know, a hotel room in San Diego is not going to be cheap.
Buddy. The afternoon session in San Diego, Tyler, I'm seeing for $153. Hawks, $127 ticket in
Tampa?
In Tampa. Most expensive ticket of the first round is to get into the second session in St. Louis, where you will see Purdue and Queens University, and also Miami and Missouri. Those tickets are going for $194 a piece.
Tyler says, I keep telling myself there's no budget. That's a good philosophy to have, Tyler. And you know, since Northern Iowa hasn't made the tournament in the last 10 years, that you don't know when it's going to roll around again.
Oh, Senorita Puffer's got a great idea. Let him win the woohoo to try to fund his trip. Well, the problem is, Senorita Puffer, that'll happen on Friday, and then we mail him his tickets so we can fund his Sweet 16 trip. Huh?
Yeah. I think you do it, Tyler. Let us live vicariously through you. We'll let you spend the money, and we will live vicariously through you.
Trav's real good at spending other people's money. Just watch. Real good.
I'm excellent at spending other people's money.
Give you hotel recommendations, restaurants.
Just saying. It's possible and doable. All right. If you missed any part of the show, going to be up on our podcast, which you can find at therushradio.com. The replay always can be replayed on YouTube as well. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate your support. It's a spring break week, so I know you guys will be going in and out, which is fine. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. Ross, enjoy your day, my friend.
I'll be calling an Iowa Wolves game tonight, my friend.
On TV, it is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
Start spreading the news, 'cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end, unless you're just loitering. It's Central City, we can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City, all this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
Hi, Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. Thinking about popping the question? Take their breath away with a diamond you can trust. Rare and forever natural diamonds. Thoughtfully selected and pre-screened using advanced technology. If you don't see exactly what you're looking for, we'll custom design it together. Our experienced team is here to help you create something truly meaningful. And let's not forget about the guys. We proudly offer the largest selection of men's wedding bands around. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
At Willis, we have a simple philosophy. We treat every guest like a guest in our own home. That means a stress-free environment where you can be cared for by our knowledgeable service team or find that perfect vehicle. Like the stylish Sentra, now leasing for $299 a month with zero due at signing. Or 0% up to 60 months and 3 years of free maintenance on the luxurious new Murano. At Willis Nissan, we're here to take care of you and your vehicle.
Welcome to Willis Nissan.
With the Iowa Lottery's new Millionaire for Life game, you could win $1 million a year for life. That could make you a My Dream Job is No Job millionaire. A front row tickets to every show millionaire. A hire a personal glam squad for you and your bestie millionaire.
Yep, a little further.
Or just to never run out of your favorite pickles millionaire. With Millionaire for Life from the Iowa Lottery,
Anise.
you can change your life for life. Play today.
Keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
Missing a quality, home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
Back to the rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.